All right, y'all, another video. Welcome back to Mirai Club. We are heading to Diamond Bar to fill up today. Let's go. Alrighty, we are on the way, but I know many of you have been asking what my MPGE is, and it is usually around 75 to 70 or 65 to 75. I will say I usually sit in the 65 area usually, but yeah, so some more information. You could correlate that with my range. Typically is about 320 miles, give or take. Here we are pulling into the Diamond Bar station. All right, another Mirai is wanting to leave. So I'm gonna back up. Usually what you would do is say your name, full name, and they would let you in. But since a Mirai is coming through, second gen, it is a limited, so it's the top trim, nice red one. We're gonna head in to the Diamond Bar station. Set online. Let's see if we have any other customers today. We have one, a Gen 1 Mirai. I haven't seen many of the Hondas lately. I know they discontinued them, but I haven't seen any of those. Or the Hyundai Nexos for that matter. But here we go. Many of you are very familiar with this station from personal experience or just watching my videos. I do like to frequent this station primarily because of the price. Last time I checked, it was $30 per kilogram versus True Zero's typical price of $36. Alrighty, so the video, is it worth it? The Mirai, I know there's a bunch of questions out there, especially when it comes to the fuel cost. But I did a little quick breakdown analysis. I used a Toyota Camry and a Nissan Altima. So I try to get one of the best in-class mid-size sedans versus, I would argue, one of the worst in terms of resale value retention, or I guess holding value. So in my analysis, Toyota Camry is brand new. This does not account for taxes and whatnot. I think I covered the main ones, but MSRP roughly 27,000, Mirai 53,000 for the XLE, and the base Altima is 26. So generally speaking, I found that the in a 3-year window, the depreciation of the Camry is about 30%, Mirai 81%, and the Altima at 58%, generally speaking. So it looks like our guy just finished fueling. I'll continue at the pump. All right, here we go. The station is online. We're gonna pull up, put it in park, turn off the car, and then open the fuel door. Sure, we get our fuel card. All right, before I continue, let's do the fueling. So let's first enter our Toyota fuel card into the credit card reader. Let's prepare the door. So we're gonna open the fuel door. I'm gonna take off the dust cap, and I just found out through some research, this is not called a nipple, it's called a receptacle or a valve. Zip code. Please wait, no receipt. All right, let's see. So far, so good. Price check at $29.99 a kilogram. Still $6 cheaper than True Zero. Alrighty, where was I? So we have the Camry, Mirai, and Altima in this analysis, and the 3-year price of a base model Camry that started at $27,000 from the research I've done is about $18,000. The price for the Mirai from my analysis is about $10,000 from 53 in 3 years. And the Altima is priced around $11,000 on average in 3 years. These are rough estimates, by the way. Obviously it doesn't account for trims and whatnot, but generally speaking, those are the prices from the research I done. And the general interest rates for the prime credit score for the cars, Camry and Ultima, auto loans at this current market are about 6% for really good credit. The Mirai is 0, so we have to account for that in the matrix. Any incentives for the cars? Usually Camry, you don't. Ultimas, they might, but I don't know. But we're going to account for the ones we do know for the Mirai, which are the state rebates of $4,500, and then the, at the time, discount of $17,000. I think now it's $22,000 for the XLE, but we're going to leave it at $17,000 for now, since that's how much I got off for my car. All right, the fuel costs. MPG, first of all, for the Ultima and Camry, for the base models, the combined average MPG is about 32 miles. Obviously, no MPG direct comparison for the Mirai, but I'll account for that soon. The estimated miles per year, if we want to just use the fuel card, so fuel price to be 0 for the Mirai, is about 30,000 miles. And this is assuming the fuel cost is about 50 cents per mile. So with that being said, 30,000 miles will exhaust your fuel card. So with that 30,000 mile framework, 32 MPG, you're looking at roughly a fuel cost of $4,406 for both Camry and Ultima in 3 years. Registration cost is next, which I'll cover in a bit. Fueling just ended. So far, so good. All right, fueling just ended. I'm gonna push in with the black, pull with the blue, comes right out one-handed. Got $111, 3.7 kilograms. Let's see what kind of range that got us. Okay. So with that, it was not completely empty. I'm gonna get out of the way first for this car so it can pull up. So that got us 308 miles. Almost full. Slightly there's missed there. MPGE at 73. I just finished fueling, but to continue our analysis, registration costs for 3 years for both Camry and the Ultima is estimated to be about $750 for 3 years, versus the Mirai with the run rate of, or the cost per year being $700 for a year. You're looking at $2,100 in registration fees in 3 years. Oil changes and maintenance. Mirai is nothing, primarily due to Toyota Care. Essentially for the 3 years you're covered, bumper to bumper and all the warranty or the maintenance and all that stuff, so 0. Versus the Camry and the Ultima, I'm just accounting for oil changes. Obviously, depending on how you drive and whatnot, you might have to change brakes, you might have to change tires, but I'm gonna omit that for this analysis. So just the oil changes, using the estimate of having oil changes every 5,000 miles and oil changes costing roughly $60, give or take, you're looking at a cost of $360 for 3 years of oil changes, roughly, of course. So what does that mean? After you account for all those metrics, you're looking at 3 years out of pocket. So the money you would have, I guess, spent, it would have costed you for the Camry $17,144. So $17,000 for the Camry. The Ultima, it would have costed you $24,000, pretty much $24,000. So you're looking at a spread there of $7,000, which is a good chunk. For the Mirai, 3 years, using everything we talked about so far, you're looking at a run cost, or a cost of roughly $23,600. So again, a recap, 3 years, 30,000 miles is the mileage we're using. Again, this does not account for tires potentially, brakes potentially. Insurance is not on there, but it can always get split all sorts of ways. But the long story short is that if you want the least amount of money leaving your pocket, get the base model Camry. If you're looking for a point A to point B vehicle, well, one, you shouldn't even be looking at a Mirai probably, but if you are, you should definitely get a Camry. For the Ultima, save some money or spend the extra $1,000 in MSRP and get the Camry. One, the Ultima is expensive to run, primarily because the depreciation is so harsh. And my personal opinion is the reliability is not even close. And I don't think it's a very far-fetched opinion at that. The Mirai, you're wanting a luxury car, you can't afford it, or you're a big advocate for green energy or green hydrogen, that is, or you're just wanting to try something interesting for 3 years and then dump it. It's not a bad option. If you just look at purely just the financial numbers, considering that it's technically about the same cost of running a Nissan Altima. Obviously, probably not the best financial decision. However, if you just want a cool car for a little bit, might be a good option. So there's my quick analysis. I ran some numbers here. I have a spreadsheet I'm looking at right now. But again, this doesn't count for everything, but I will say it's not as bad as it seems buying a Toyota Mirai purely on the financials. However, if you're watching this video and you're watching this channel, you know that the big elephant in the room is the infrastructure, the time you probably spend waiting for fuel, the time you spend driving a fuel. The fueling part is the big elephant in the room. And how much is your time worth? Do you even have the time? That's the question you should be asking yourself if you're considering a Toyota Mirai at the moment. The car is great. And one more thing I want to add. If you need the car to hold a lot of stuff or haul around your kids or whatnot, it's probably not the best option. The seats in the back are tiny. Storage is very limited. But if you're looking for a cool looking car, drives pretty well, and definitely a head turner, might be worth it. It's not a total financial blowout. Obviously, for the people that are not familiar with the fuel car, they just see $180 per tank, which is absolutely ridiculous, but it's not coming out of your pocket necessarily, at least until the fuel card runs out. So that's a long-winded way of me saying that technically, based on this analysis, a Toyota Mirai is cheaper to run and drive and sell in 3 years than a Nissan Altima. Take it that what you will. Do your own analysis. I hope this inspires you to look into the financials further. And if you are considering this car, do your due diligence. You know what you're getting into before you get in. That's why this channel exists. That's why so many others exist. And I hope this financial analysis kind of sparks your own. Run the numbers. Obviously, there's deals at different times of year for different cars. You have to run those. But this general analysis, it's not too bad. So yeah, we just finished fueling. It was $111. I got 308 miles of range. I forgot exactly how much I had before I filled up, but it was pretty quick. Diamond Bar Station, when it's up, it's usually pretty good. No line except for one car, so I was in and out pretty quick today. But hope you enjoyed this video, and stay tuned. I just hit over 1,000 subscribers. I just want to thank everyone if you made it this far. Really appreciate it. Appreciate the support. Put in the comments what you want to see next. I may be able to accommodate that, but I love seeing the feedback there and the discussions in the comments. And then keep keep a lookout for a video in the somewhat near future. I do want to do some sort of giveaway and kind of in celebration of the 1,000 subscriber benchmark or the milestone. But thanks again, and signing out at the Diamond Bar Station, Air Products at the government building. I think it's some government building, but anyway, see you on the next one.